be absolutely devastating.
Oh! This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
Oh man, this has been the roughest start of all time. So we're gonna give it. We gotta give it one of those after that rough start. Oh my goodness!
Son of a bitch.
I don't know what was going on. They had somebody had programmed that one countdown to come on as soon as I hit live. Last time that played, we got copyright, so I was trying to shut that down. And then I forgot to add us, so the video's running. I'm expecting us to pop up, or we're all still backstage. But anyway, welcome to GWR. I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by Tony Gonzo'S, Marcus Fine, and Warren Misery. How's it going, guys?
Everybody out there weird.
We're good. Staying nice and cool.
That Jared Bird was going to be on with us tonight. He had to cancel, so change of plans there. But we still got a big show, and we're going to get started right now with Marcus Fine, Independent Wrestling.
What's up, Wiley? I know why you're in here. We'll get to that here in a minute. I'll do what I said I would do. It's right there. Anyhow, okay, for birthdays. Let's see. Today's birthday is Tony Jackson's birthday from BMFX. On Thursday, Mark Magnus's birthday. No, that's tomorrow, Tuesday. All right, let me start over. Tony Jackson's birthday is today. Mark Magnus's birthday is tomorrow. Caitlin, who helps with ring announcing and lights and sound at WCW's birthday is on Wednesday. JB's birthday is on Thursday. Preston Churchill's birthday is on Friday. Joey Owens' birthday is on Friday. Carrie Jean Brody from JICW's birthday is on the 28th, which is Saturday. And Jimmy Carrot's birthday is on Saturday. So happy birthday to all of them. And if we missed your birthday, happy birthday. Hope it's a good week for you guys. All right. I got a bunch of results. I want to do the other shows first, and then we'll do the Bashford Memorial. These are thanks to Kevin Mitchell, the WCW at the Hannah House on Saturday, the 21st. So Mark Magnus defeat the Water Boy. Donnie Blaze defeated Will Asher and T.S. Wiley when Blaze made Wiley tap. Max Sterling defeated Kurt Bousset. Jay Gates defeated Ronan. And Jackson Morgan defeated Mike Noble. And then AACW's Flashpoint, Sharpsville, Indiana on Saturday. Tate Manson defeat Hobo Jones. And he was labeled as King, but we know him as Eric Onyx. He beat him in a triple threat match. Cody Lee defeated Kevin Francis. Jensen defeated Paige Jones to retain the ladies' title. The U.S. champion Bobo Brazil Jr. versus EEC champion Nerd ended up in a double count out. Rose McQueen defeated Ajax via DQ. Cake Monster defeated Bob Steele and one half of the AACW Tag Champs Christian Cash in a triple threat match. Larry D defeated Cruiser and Cold X, which consisted of Shooting with Shane, Tanner Kelly, Experiment X, and Twisted Hoss, defeated Damien DePhil, Strife, Wild Thane, and the AACW Heavyweight Champion Rodney Crisis in an 8-man tag team match. So that's what happened there. Okay. Dangerous Bulldog Bash Memorial Night 1 at the Outlaw Arena Friday night. So one half of the WCW Tag Team Champions, Andre Stray, with the other Tag Team Champion, Timmy Jackson, Zay Gates with Billy Palmer. And then immediately afterwards, we had the other half of the Tag Team Champions, Timmy Jackson. He defeated Kenneth James via DQ. Cousin Cooter and Max Sterling defeated Will Asher and Mark Magnus And the team of Troy Valentine and Ronan in a triple tag team match. Willie Dawkins defeated Mike Noble with David Lee. The highlight reel was Scott Romer defeated Dex Royal and Rachel Armstrong with Pogo. Phoenix with T.S. Wiley defeated Waterboy to retain the WCW territorial title. Now in had special guest referee Joey Owens. And the main event, Jackson Morgan and the WCW Gunslinger champion Zach Nova defeated TJ Powers and Juan Sanchez. All right. You want to, because you guys was there.
Oh, yeah. It was a really good show. I enjoyed it. My match of the night, for me, was the one with Brody in it. That was the match of the night for me. I thought Brody's been on fire, guys. I right now, if I had to pick my wrestler of the year, it'd probably be Brody. He's having one hell of a year in several different promotions. Chris, what was your take on the Bashful Bowl?
No, I thought it was a good show Friday night. I had a good time. I was glad we finally got to make it down to one. Sucked we didn't get down there for night two. But I agree with you. I thought my match tonight was Brody and Mike Noble. And Mike Noble just keeps every time we see him, he just keeps getting better and better. So I got to give him some props too, because I agree with everything you said about Brody as well. But hate to make Noble's head any bigger than it already is. But I thought he was impressive as well. So yeah, that was my match of the night for Friday.
Marcus, what was your match of the night for Friday night?
Brody and Mike Noble. I think we all agreed that was it.
Yeah, it was a good show. Had a pretty good crowd. A real solid show, man. I enjoyed it. Like Chris said, man, we had car issues and we couldn't make it there on night two. I was real disappointed, but sometimes those things happen.
Why they said Waterboy in Phoenix?
Well, not for night one. I will say night two, but I won't say night one. Okay, you ready for night two? Yeah, okay, night two, Outlaw Arena, Dog Bashful Memorial, night two. Will Asher defeated Kurt Busse via submission. Jackson Morgan defeated Johnny Blaze. Mike Noble defeated Mark Magnus. Phoenix with T.S. Wiley defeated Waterboy in a close count anywhere match to retain the territorial title. And we'll get to this afterwards. When I'm done, then we'll go to that part. Zach Nova defeated Jay Gates with Billy Palmer to retain the Gunslinger title. That was a good match as well. TJ Powers with Vinny Bichetti defeated Max Sterling with Savage Pogo. And congratulations to Jackson Morgan, who won the 2025 Dog Bashful Memorial Battle Royal. So they had a lot of people in that match. A lot of people in that Battle Royal. So, okay. Something happened Saturday night. I'm sure we all know. Can you screen me as the only one in this?
Chris, can you?
Yeah, just one second.
All right. The reason Wiley's in here, I'm sure, is because he's responsible for retiring the Hall of Fame cane. There it is. I told him we'd have the Hall of Fame cane on GWR tonight. End of an era right there. T.S. Wiley smacked the living shit out of Waterboy that day, and then hit it back to the field. Ben did it. So they had a good show. 2 states, several promotions, several shows this been in, and it is now over with. Hopefully this weekend we will debut the Hall of Fame cane number 2 at PopCon. So that's the plan. So
you need to get it in a plastic case and mount it right behind you there.
I'm trying to figure out how to do that, because I said that I was trying to figure out how to put it on the wall back there. So it may end up back there.
So Marcus, was the Phoenix waterboard match your show of the night, or match of the night for show 2?
Well, yeah, between that and Zach Nova and Zay Gates was very good as well. So for a normal match, Zach Nova and Zay Gates was match of the night. For the stipulation match, Phoenix versus Waterboys match of the night. They were beating the hell out of each other. Kendo sticks, cookie sheets, that cane. I don't remember if a chair got in there or not, but they were hard hitting pretty hard. So that's all I have.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that we didn't get to go, but sometimes that Looking forward. Hopefully, we'll go make it this weekend. I'll go ahead and talk about that. We got PopCon coming up. It is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're at the Convention Center in Indianapolis. If people interested in going to PopCon, I know Friday tickets are $40. It's open to the public from 1 to 7 p.m. Not exactly, and WCW wrestling will be there. That's included in the price of the ticket. No extra cost to go to the wrestling show. Like I said, the hall opens at 1 p.m. There are some VIP stuff where you can get in earlier and stuff. But I'm not, I don't have that information. Saturday, admission is $50. Hall opens at 10:30. I think it actually opens a little earlier for VIP, and it runs to 5 p.m. And then on Sunday, admission is $40. Same thing. The hall opens at 10:30 and it ends at 5. Wrestling shows will run throughout that day during those times, at different times. Maybe a show for an hour, a little bit of a break, another show. I don't have all that information, but again, if you go to PopCon and you pay your money for the admission, the wrestling is included in that price.
Perhaps some kind of fighting robots or something as well.
I've heard that.
Joey was talking about on the show the other day, and then I heard him talking about it over the weekend.
So that's the PopCon information.
I guess VIPs are in half an hour earlier.
Okay. And I think they may even run some VIP stuff late tonight too. Wiley would know more about that.
Yeah, I would say Wiley should be able to know that.
About PopCon was a blast last year. We've only done PopCon once, right? I think that was last year was the first PopCon, if I remember. All right. We've done it twice.
I can't remember.
Wiley might know, but anyway, we've done the other con quite a few times. But I thought PopCon was our first time last year, I believe. But yeah, it's a blast. So hopefully, if everything works out, we're gonna be able to make it. We're working on that. And then also this weekend, on Sunday, we'll go with by the times here. On Sunday, June 29th, Warrior Pro Wrestling number 45. Doors open at 2 p.m., bell time at 3. Kids general admission 12, adults 18, and front row 20. Don't have the card for that. So, but if you're close to Danville, Indiana, Indianapolis area and stuff like that, not too far away from Indy, go check out that show. I'm sure it'll be a solid show. And then next up in Greenfield, Indiana on Sunday, June 29th, doors open at 5, bell time at 6. FEW Summer Spectacular. I got a few of the matches. I'm not going to do all of them. I know one of the big matches on the show is the OVW United States Championship. Eric Surge, the champion from OVW, we're putting that up against Ashton Adonis. That should be a fantastic match. Also, we have the FEW Heavyweight Championship. The champ, JERRED Rose, defending his championship against Tommy Gunn. And then we have Mid-Continental Championship match. The champion, Logan Myers, defending against Ricky Guns. And the other match I wrote down here, let me get to my other page, sorry about that, is a FEW Tag Team Championship match. The Empire putting the belt up against Dynamite and Stray. So them are the 4 matches I had down, but there's other matches on the card. I guarantee it'll be a good show, man. FEW does great work, so you definitely want to check that out. And more information on ticket prices stuff, you can check out their website. I want to say it's $15 if you buy it, maybe pre, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Again, check out their website, and you can get more information on that. Anybody got anything else on any other shows or anything they want to add?
PopCon will be busy. It's always a fun time. So
Yeah, most definitely. I agree with that.
You going to PopCon more?
Be out of town. I'm gonna be back to my hometown where you were. So I got to clean up your mess. I got to go up there.
He's going up to clean up Chris's mess.
Yeah, somebody's got to. Yeah, last year was first PopCon. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions, any of us on GWR, we're going to take questions. Plus, I've got some questions that I'm going to ask, and we're all going to answer. So we're going to do a little. We're going to grill ourselves here a little bit.
I can't guarantee I'm going to answer them, but go ahead and ask them.
Okay, here we go. If you could be any pro wrestler for a day, who would it be? We'll go in order like we normally do. Marcus, Warren, me, and then Chris.
Oh, who's going first?
You are.
Do I go at first?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's me thinking. That was my thought. It got out of there. If I wanted to be a pro wrestler for a day,
Yeah, if you could be any
I'd
pro
probably go
wrestler,
Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody.
Well, I'll go
Okay,
Bruiser Brody.
Warren.
I'll beat the hell out of everybody.
Warren, who would you be?
It's a lot of them that would. I mean, as far as ring wise, Triple H. As far as that as a retired, I mean, but like if a current one like right now, I'd probably want to go like Hangman Page. I think it'd be interesting to see what a day in the life of his is like.
Warren, you said Triple H, really?
Yeah,
That surprised me. I never expect you to say that.
That's a good.
I loved Triple H back in the day. I mean, I'm a DX guy, and I loved his the cerebral assassin bit.
I think he's underrated. I think he's underrated. I don't think he gets to.
I originally was going to say, I was sitting here and I already had my thought, and then it changed. I was originally going to say Roddy Piper, but then I heard he was a family man and kind of boring to a certain degree. But but the one that I sat here and thought about was Dick the Bruiser.
No, I guess we are fighting each other.
Yeah. I would say Kelly says China. So you want to be China.
Yeah. That'd be a good one.
Okay, Chris.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, I should have known that one.
Yeah, we know that. We do that.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna favorite GWR moment. Everybody knows mine. I'm gonna go first. You guys think a second. I'll go first on this one because everybody knows mine. Mine is when Joey Owens came on and took over the show with that wrestling thing. That's my favorite thing ever. I want that at my funeral. So I stated it again. So that's mine. Marcus?
Well, actually, I got two. The first one would have been Retromania, because basically that was my first big commentary night in front of with the big stars. But then Thunderstorm in January was probably going to be my all-time favorite because of the size crowd we were commentating for, screaming at each other, just witnessing that, not just from inside the arena, but from outside the arena. And yeah, I think Thunderstorm's probably going to take Retromania now. So,
okay, Warren.
For lack of sounding cheesy, I mean, when you guys asked me to be part of this team, because it's honestly, I don't want to say catapulted or rocket shipped me to other stuff, but being with you guys and just sort of networking and being put out there sort of helped me get in other places I never would imagine I could be doing stuff with. So yeah, when I got the call, I got the message from you guys say, hey, we want to bring you as part of the team.
Well, I agree with that, because if it wasn't for GWR, I wouldn't be doing 90% of stuff I'm doing right now either. So
Chris?
I agree 100% with that.
I got three of them. One of them would be what you said when Joey came over and took over. But my other two would be WCW Thunderstorm, for one, just because that's the biggest crowd we'd ever been at, but also being backstage and Chavo Guerrero coming up and introducing himself to me and getting to, Mr. Anderson and getting to meet all of them. But then the other one is the first Cornfield Carnage, where Mick Foley was at. For one, with him being there, but two, that still has. Well, I think it's the best match I've seen at an independent show with IK3 against Omen to open that show up. So that show, and that place was sold out, standing room only with they had 700, 650, 700 people there at that show. So it's probably our second biggest show that we've ever been a part of, and it was a real good show. So I'd have that moment up there too.
Okay.
Kelly's got one.
Yeah, Kelly's got something up here, Chris, if you want to put it up. Hey, guys, biggest challenge.
Can I make a statement first? I didn't do prayers because I didn't have any, but actually I do. Kelly had her first eye surgery this morning.
Okay.
and she's doing all right compared to the paper. She's doing right where she's supposed to be. The second one will be Wednesday, so right now she's seeing weird because both eyes are fighting each other, but and her eyes been dilated, like I said, with like a gallon of that shit.
Well,
so her eyes are all huge. But
was it cataract surgery?
yeah,
Marcus is telling her that her vision's all messed up because she can really see Marcus now, and he don't want her to he don't want her to take off running. That's what it is. Okay, guys.
Hope you get better soon.
Yeah,
Kelly.
most definitely.
That's Kelly.
Biggest challenge in doing GWR, not the commentary, because I've got one about the commentary, but just doing this show that we're doing right here is what would be the biggest challenge that you've had doing this show?
Just this show, not like
Just this
not
show,
like
not-
the other show.
Not
Okay.
the not the commentary, because I've got that. Marcus.
well, I don't know. I don't know if I really have had a challenge. Everything just kind of fell into place. So I don't know if I've had a challenge doing GWR. I guess the challenge was you asked me to come back after the first time you asked me to commentate because somebody screwed it up for me. But
What could that have been?
I think that's probably the only challenge.
Absolutely devastated.
Just been, I don't have had that really.
Okay. Warren.
Oh, probably not sounding like a dumbass and keeping a lot of my my comments and views, maybe try to keep them in an open mind and just sort of bringing new stuff to it and whatnot, and just making sure, like I said, I don't sound like an idiot when I say stuff, but at least stuff to make other people think and our viewers think, and just sort of that kind of aspect there, not looking dumb.
Yeah, mine is tripping over my words. I've always worried about tripping over my words, which I know quite a bit, but that's been my biggest challenge. And the thing I always worry about. I love planning out the show and doing that kind of stuff, but once I get going and trying to read off, maybe if I could memorize stuff and didn't have to read off the paper, but I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm trying not to sound like Wiley. That's my thing. Is I'm trying not, because if I start sounding like Wiley, then no one's gonna tune in. So, I know what Chris's is. Chris's is getting the open right.
That's for sure today.
I think another big challenge was when we were doing that benefit show and trying not to make it too slapstick comedy. I mean, Wiley was part of that too.
Yeah.
There at Greenfield, and Chris pissing off somebody that he gets. I wouldn't say he wasn't attacked, but he had to answer to his comments at another show.
That's true. That's true. He did have to answer that.
Yeah, today production as a whole has been terrible. What's wrong with the production guy?
I don't know. I think he's just an asshole.
Those monkeys in the truck better get it right. Come on now.
Right. Yeah, getting sounded from the baseball game because these mics weren't even on. It was other mics.
You did that again?
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, what about you?
Probably the biggest thing for me when I first started it was just getting comfortable talking on camera, because I've never been I never was big on speaking in public or in front of people, so it took me a little bit to get used to that. And then the only other thing I would say is when we have the same guy on multiple times, sometimes it can be a challenge to come up with new questions to ask, so it's not the same as the last time they were on.
Yeah. I agree with that. Again, if anybody's got any questions out there for us, feel free. We're going to be on for a few more minutes.
Go ahead, Wiley. Ask us something. You got stuff to ask.
Watch what you're asking for, Marcus.
I know. Me and Wiley go way back. It's hard telling what he'll ask. So.
Okay, guys. Biggest challenge in doing commentary at wrestling shows? Marcus?
I don't know if I had any of them problems either.
I would say I got one.
Okay.
I would say that at first was just getting used to when to talk, when not to talk, and
Talking over the music muted.
Oh yeah, that is a problem.
That's Marcus's biggest challenge.
and and like not over talking each other.
Yeah.
I think that, and then one that's for me is just I'm trying to do 8,000 things at one time because I'm doing the camera and trying to and the laptop and then talk. So that it was, I ain't gonna lie, when we had a cameraman, it did make it a little bit easier. But now I'm used to it, so it's not. I'm getting used to it. But like the other day, one of the matches the other night, hell, we were talking and I looked down and I hadn't unmuted it. And I'm like, damn it. But you're doing so many other things. Sometimes you just, or sometimes you think you hit the button and you didn't have the mouse at an exact right spot, so it didn't go.
You'd be like Friday. I'm sorry.
I think too, like commentating, but not taking away from the action in the ring. It's like trying to find that balance of calling and being entertaining, but also not making it to where you're taking everything away from the ring and finding that perfect blend can be a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, finding that balance. Yeah, I agree with that. One for me is when we do the pop cons and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love doing all those cons, but there's so many matches, so many shows, you get tired. So I mean, that's a big challenge, but I love doing those. Some of my favorite things that we do. I thought Wiley had a real good question for us, guys. Marcus, how about you? Who's been your favorite guest?
I was waiting. I have two.
Okay.
Bob Steele, I thought was damn good. Listening to the old school way of things. And then from a whole different perspective, we just had him on, Reggie Edwards. I thought that was an outstanding interview as well. We haven't really had all but maybe one bad guest. We won't bring that up, but who it was. But every guest has been good in their own way. But I think Bob Steele and Reggie Edwards was my favorites for the history in two different aspects, because Bob Steele's got 25 years. Reggie comes in from a whole different he's not a wrestler. He actually is a reporter. And so he comes in from a different perspective. I think those are my two favorite.
Those are two very good ones. Warren?
I mean, there's three that come to the top of my mind. One being Bob Steele. He made a huge fan out of me. Another one would be, to go to the younger side with Juan Sanchez and learn about a younger guy coming up and what he sees. And then also when we had Tank on, I thought Tank was
very good.
Yeah,
because he really supplied a lot of stories and a lot of things about what goes on and how to be and how to adjust yourself and where to go. So yeah, I think those probably my top three.
I'm gonna go with two favorites, been on a lot, because I think Chris will use the other one that I had in my mind, so I'll leave that for him. I'm going to say Jared Bird, who's supposed to be on the show today. He's always great on the show. And then also I'm going to say Joey Owens. So them would be my two. But I agree with all the ones you said too. I agree with all those. But I have one that I think Chris is going to say. If he don't say that, I'll say
you just took two of mine.
Okay. I think you'll say the other one because I think his interview was one of the best we ever done too.
I had Mike King on there, and one of the reasons was he was one of the first interviews that we done on GWR when I first started it. And then of course Joey, but another one I agree with you guys on Steel. I really enjoyed that one. Mortimer Blankenship I thought was awesome as well. And then, but one of my favorites of all time is Logan Myers.
Yep, that was the one that I figured you'd say. That's why I didn't say it.
We've had him on multiple times, and every time he was on, I thought it was great. So
that one story he told about going to that guy's house just absolutely killed me.
I think it was the presentation on that. That was what killed that one.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
He's been one of my favorite interviews that we've done. I'm hoping that I'd like to get him on one more time before he hangs it up.
We got to August, so maybe that'll be a special.
Yeah.
Or if he wants to do it like right after he hangs it up, you know what I mean? But I'd like to get him on one more time before he's not around anymore.
I think we all should be able to come up with something with this next question. Things that have surprised you about independent wrestling after seeing it backstage and doing the commentary or being back behind where these guys are working on stuff. I know Warren's been back behind stage at shows and things. So things that surprise you maybe, think back before you got involved with GWR, or, even involved with wrestling, going to a lot of shows like Marcus, and being privy to some things that normal fans aren't privy to. So, Marcus, anything that's surprised
Right?
you?
Not anymore. I guess I've been at it too long now. Because before I even did GWR, I was still getting in the shows early
Okay.
and
But
seeing
what
behind the
about,
scenes.
stop and think though, about before you got to do that, was there anything that when you got that opportunity that you like, I didn't know that? Well, that surprised me. I can't believe that they do it this way or this or that. Think about it for a second. We'll let Warren go next.
I mean, I could think of a couple things. I mean, the number one is, from what I've experienced within everywhere I've been, is there is a real good, strong, like, brotherhood, for lack of a better word. A real, everyone's always helping everyone. They're open, lots and lots of people open suggestions. Everyone's, I haven't had anyone be a real, for lack of a better word, a dick to me. Everyone, they take me in. I open my ears. I'm sorry. Everybody cool with me except for Todd Wiley. He's a real douche. But
Lost my water on that one.
that, I mean, that just, you can feel everyone really wants to work together and have a good show. But then also there's a lot of chaos that goes on too, that especially with the promoters, they're trying to put shows together. If people are running late or there's last minute scratches, I've seen cards change at least 7 different times sometimes. But those are things that, you never think, because it just stuff comes out smooth. You're like, wow, it's, crazy how great that came out when just literally 3 minutes ago we didn't have a set. So.
Marcus, come up with anything, or you want more
Well, I
time?
have to agree. I agree 100%. Also, being in several different behind the scenes, how all promotions are different. Because, Joey's got his crew, Mike's got his crew, which is basically Joey's crew too. But then, you go to JICW, you see a whole different aspect of the sport. You go to NGW, a whole different aspect behind it. AECW, they all have their own way of doing things. Surprises me how many Chiefs there are versus Indians, if that's even politically correct anymore, and if not, I apologize. Because I've seen that a lot of times too, where you got too many people trying to run the show.
Oh yeah.
And then they all get to fighting with each other. But you're right. Once that bell time hits, you can't tell there was any issues. I have yet to see that transpond or make its way to the actual show itself. But I wouldn't want to be a promoter. You can't count on 90% of people, and I hate to say that, but Warren's right. I've seen a lot of people no show, call in. They had to change the card. I mean, we've known that just being on the GWR table when they say, okay, well, now this match is there, this match is here, oh, this match is gone, Or then that's another challenge. When we have the match card in front of us, yet what's coming out is not what they said was going to happen. We have to change how we're going to commentate, because now it's a triple threat or so.
Mine would be, I agree with Warren on the how a lot of the locker rooms are so much family, and I agree 100% on that. But also, I'm surprised because you hear stories in the past, back when I watched wrestling in the 70s and 80s, and then you hear in NWA, and then you hear WWE, WWF, all the stuff, that all the backstage politics. I didn't realize there was so much politics in independent wrestling. And especially when they are close net and everything, but there's still politics. That really shocked me that there was that much politics going on in the back. That shocked me that there'd be that much in independent wrestling. Chris?
Oh yeah, the family environment that you guys talked about was one thing I had. Another thing that kind of surprised me was learning how little. Try the word this because I also don't want to expose some things, but how little prep time that the wrestlers have and could sometimes barely even know each other, and then go in there like 30 minutes later and put on a great match. Just how quick them guys put stuff together, I think, is amazing. That's something I never realized. And then another one is tear down, not everybody, but tear down and set up. There are some crews that can do that. Like they can be tore down and set up in 45 minutes, and it's just crazy how quick you see some of that.
Yeah, I had another one
And
too.
then another one was for me that was a big surprise when we got into this was how many damn promotions there is in Indiana. Like before we got in this, I didn't know there was this many wrestling promotions. Like I had no clue that there was that many independent promotions in Indiana.
And then the other one for me is how some of the promotions are cutthroat to other promotions, you know, and take them as competition or stuff, and the backstabbing and the grudges and stuff like that. I never thought it would be quite like that, or at least, I mean, we're all human, so we understand everybody has human emotions, and you know, not always the best comes out in us, but it was a lot bigger, higher level than I ever thought it would be.
If you work for this company, you cannot work for me.
Can I work for this company? Yeah.
Me and Warren's seen that a few times, I know.
Yep. I think Todd had another question for us.
I know we all got one. The number.
Yeah,
one.
I bet we all got one. I've got two.
I know we all got the number one. So
I've got two, and neither one's going to surprise anybody.
Okay, go ahead, Marcus.
Well, I'm assuming we're all going to say Hagley.
Yep.
And my other one's Nerd.
Yep.
That's my top two right now for most entertained. You wouldn't believe how highly everybody speaks of Nerd, because that guy is fantastic. For no bigger than he is, but how entertaining he is. And then Hadley's the same way.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys on Hadley, and then I would throw in. I just lost the name of the one I was going to say. One of them would be IK3. The other one was Vinny Vichetti.
Yep. I agree with that too. Warren, do you have any other ones?
yeah, and unfortunately, someone's head's going to get a little big. I know. I don't know, Chris, until you guys have had a chance to really see this trio in AVW that goes by the name of the Dad Bods. But
Oh yeah, we got to see him on that one show.
they're quite an entertaining trio. They seem to bring the laughs and whatnot. I think that's really cool and awesome. And they're all skilled at what they do. And then also one of Marcus Spine's favorite guys, Rico Jones.
I was going to say, I can't believe I didn't say Rico Jones.
Rico Jones is super entertaining when I see him out in the ring. So, and Christian Cash. I mean, like him or hate him.
Yeah.
So we need to at least say his name in here so he doesn't get fired up and come after Tony again.
Oh, he will anyway. He's still mad at Tony. So
Yeah, I'm a leprechaun.
I'll tell you somebody that I think does as well. I would say Jared Kripke. I think he does a good job, real good job entertaining and working the crowd. And
come over and ask Tony about his green card. It's like,
Yeah.
You got a green card?
Yeah, he did. Well, Hadley that time.
Hadley is just Hadley's on a whole. He's just talking wise. He's like on a whole different level. That dude just never stops, and you never know what he's gonna say.
He showed up as that one show as a luchador and come speaking Spanish to me before the show. I mean, just outstanding.
S.A. Rios Jr. Hi, I'm S.A. Rios Jr.
Yes, just outstanding.
And you had no clue it was Hadley.
I didn't.
No, I had no idea that was Hadley.
One that seen, of course, I've seen him at WWE shows, but then got to see him up close, the Boogeyman. Just seeing him up close and the crowd interaction and feeding worms to people and all that stuff. That's something else. And then one I didn't get to see live. I'm surprised.
I know you're going because I was getting ready to say his name. I know you're going to say Funny Bone.
Funny Bone. I was going to say because I didn't get to see him live. But you guys got love Funny Bone.
I can't believe me and Marcus did say that one off the top of our head.
And Burpo and Hippo's pretty funny too. You guys have seen him a few times, right?
Yep. I've seen him once.
Funny Bone was real. He was real entertaining. Only time I've ever heard a violence chant.
Okay, guys, here's one for you. I asked you about the pro wrestler. If you could be any independent wrestler for a day, who would it be? And I want to go first. Jeremy Hadley.
I couldn't keep up with that.
I'd probably end up in an insane asylum, but I won't be Jeremy Hadley for a day.
I thought he was going to say Pogo.
But that's another one. I think that's Chris's. He wants to be Pogo for a day.
Well, I'm going to go either Jake Ullman or Jimmy Carrot. Now I want to see Jake Ullman and Jimmy Carrot wrestle each other. Somebody put that together and make sure I can be there for that.
Yep. What about you, Warren?
You know, I just in general with his skill set, his size, his personality, Excalibur. I've always thought he always puts on a good match, and he's able to do some of the high flying stuff and the hard hitting stuff, and does it well.
Chris?
I'm gonna say IK3 or Jordan James.
Yep. That's two good ones, yeah. If you started your own wrestling company tomorrow, who would be the first 5 people you would hire?
Oh, shit. You should have given us a heads up of this.
Wait a minute, what was the question?
If you started your own wrestling company tomorrow, who would be the first 5 people you hire?
Hire Wrestling Universe.
Are you talking about independent?
I was thinking more independent,
All right.
but you can do whatever you want.
Oh no, we'll stick.
All right, I got mine. This is off the top of my head. Ready?
Yep.
IK3, Jake Ullman, Jimmy Carrot, Jeremy Hadley, Christian Cash.
We have a couple of the same ones.
Warren?
Yeah, you guys got so many more people than I've dealt with, but I mean, obviously, I'd work it out with Joey Owens to be my top guy, call the shots for me. Jake Ullman to be my trainer and wrestler too. Jimmy Carrot, probably IK3, and then probably Zay Gates.
That's a good one. I got Joey to be my main guy. I got Jared Bird to promote it. Then I'm gonna go with IK3. I'm gonna go with Jeremy Hadley, and I'm gonna go with Rachel Armstrong. Me and Chris probably got the same exact list.
We had 4 out of the 5 the same. I had IK3, Joey Owens, Mike King, Jake Ullman, and Jeremy Hadley. Joey could run the company. Mike has all the connect. Mike could run it, wrestle just like Joey, and Mike has all the connections with his gimmick promotions. And then IK3, Omen, and Hadley are some of the best workers around.
Favorite independent wrestling match you've seen live?
Favorite independent match I've seen live?
Yep.
Jake Omen and IK3 at Cornfield Carnage 1.
Man, I've got so many.
There's a bunch of them that popped in my head, but that's been my favorite one. It opened that show and it was awesome, and it just set that show off.
The one I seen at one of the cons, Rachel and IK3.
That one was a good one.
That
I know that one,
stands out.
You know,
That stands out to me.
another one, Carlito and IK3. Bearcat Rumble was awesome.
Okay, Marcus.
The Cobra and IK3 wasn't even in Indiana. People are still talking about that.
I know.
And the cage match at Lebanon.
Yeah. Yeah, that one with
TLC match inside a cage.
yeah, that was one of my favorites too.
That was
Old
awesome.
school. Oh man, it was great. Warren.
Yeah, it's IK3 and Cobra.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. I didn't get to see that one. But hell, like we saw IK3 and Blake Money Wright and some real good ones as well.
Okay, guys.
Seen a lot of good matches.
Favorite meal.
Favorite what?
Meal. Favorite food. Favorite meal. If you had a meal that you be your final meal, whatever your favorite meal, your go-to meal.
Tacos or barbecue.
Can I just say Fogo to Chow?
Yeah. Mine would be brisket, collard greens. I'm trying to think of my other side. Probably a really good cream corn.
I mean, yeah, I would go like a T-bone and some fresh corn on the cob.
Good ribeye, yeah. Be good for me too.
That's what I have.
Either
I have.
some-
Go ahead.
Mine would either be brisket, chicken wings, or tacos.
I had good fried chicken, prime rib, and then a good salad. That'll do it. I don't need anything else.
Now, see, 15 years ago, mine would have been ribs, but brisket stuck over from ribs for me.
I like ribs too, but
Yeah,
I'm more of a. I've gotten bigger on the chicken wings than I have ribs.
I've always been a chicken eater.
I've always loved chicken wings, but I really loved ribs. But now, if I have my choice, I'm usually getting brisket instead of ribs, and I get chicken wings.
I ask this to all the wrestlers all the time, guys. Funniest person we've been around in a pro wrestling setting.
Well, I think we've already named them, hadn't we?
Probably.
Nerve
Mine would
Hadley.
probably be Hadley.
Mortimer.
I tell you another guy's pretty funny is Mike Lee.
Yeah, Mike Lee can be funny.
Hadley-
Christian Cash is very funny too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's-
He's quick witted.
Christian-
Big Pete.
Yeah. Yeah. Riding with
Yeah,
Big Pete.
you want the adults part of that, yes.
Yeah, riding with Big Pete, going to the Comic Cons and Pop Cons and something else.
Yeah.
It's a treat. Because he'll get on some of them guys. I've seen him get on Zay Gates and some of them guys. It's outstanding. Pete don't care. So Big Pete's a good one. Well, guys, I think that's pretty much all I have.
Wiley, you got any more? Or are you still on here?
we bore him to death.
He went to sleep. Well, we apologize for Jared not being able to come on today, but we had something
He
planned.
didn't want to face me. He didn't want to face my questions. He's
I ain't gonna lie. With him, because earlier I said when you have somebody on so many times, you kind of sometimes run out of what to ask. He's been on almost more than anybody. I think Joey Owens might have caught him by now because he hasn't been on for a while.
Yeah.
It was between him and Brody there for a while.
Blake.
And
One
Blake,
time,
yeah,
but
and Blake
Blake's not
was
doing it anymore.
Blake was on all the time when he was going. But with Mike, I don't know, for some reason it was easy to come up with new questions for him.
I'll tell you because I was thinking this the other day when we was at that show on Friday. Remember when Blake had that deal about the Mount Rushmore? He wanted to do all four of him. The perfect guy because he never did the shirt. The guy that should do that shirt now is Mike Noble. Because he's got the same type of character, type of attitude. Mike Noble should just do 4 Mount Rushmores with all his picture on it. I think he could sell them too. And Noble, if you do that, I want a piece of the shirt. I want a piece of profits, at least $1 on every shirt. I'm giving you that idea.
He impressed me the other night. Like every time I'm serious. Every time I see him, he just gets better and better. So he's definitely going in the right direction, in my opinion.
And I'll give props to Waterboy. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's definitely improving as well.
Yeah, at that Comic Con.
And somebody I didn't mention that I was impressed with was the rookie, Ronan.
Yes.
Getting to see him for the first time live Friday night, and I told him after the show as well. But yeah, I thought he was impressive for that only being his second match.
Yeah, looked really
Mark
good.
Magnus is doing pretty good too for all he had.
Yeah,
3
Mark
months
is
under
doing
his
really
belt.
well. You can't tell he's only been wrestling for what, a couple months maybe, 2-3 months. You
Yeah,
can't.
well, he debuted during Comic Con week.
Yes. So I mean, he's doing great. Yeah, a lot of people standing out to me. Like we've talked before about Phoenix being one of the most underrated. Or of course, Jackson Morgan has been
But
underrated for a long
if
time.
we're talking T-shirts, we should do the many emotions of Jackson Morgan and just have it's just the same face, just happy, sad, angry. Like it's just the same look on because he doesn't. There's
And then the bottom, he can have 2 fingers over the nipple area
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
titty toss.
the titty toss. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, Jackson, Zach Nova's doing fantastic too. He's really doing well and getting over with the crowds. A lot of guys are.
He's a #1 contender at AVW there for.
Another one I just thought of when we were talking about like a character, like who was it? Yeah, most entertaining character wrestler you've seen live. I gotta mention Justin Danger because I think he has one of the best ring entrances on the independents.
Yeah, we missed Justin. Hopefully, he's going to be back soon. I hope.
I've always thought he was real entertaining. So
And
I want to make sure we mention him in there because he
young guy gets me too is Juan Sanchez.
Yep. Yeah. Juan always does. Yeah.
Works the crowd, man.
Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to announce this. Somehow we got to go back. He has the shortest Basher Memorial time. I think it was like 3 seconds. Because he's in there, says he's going to win it all, and then they all just kind of threw him over. And then they give him, they give him an award. They pulled it out from under the ring. It looked like one of them vintage popcorn. You know that, Tony, Chris, you may all be old about that popcorn thing where you poured it in, and then when you're done, you flipped it over, and then that's your bowl. You just
yeah.
They give him the bowl part. They give him the bowl part. I'm pretty sure that's where that come from. Here's your award for being the first one out.
All right. Well, guys, I think that's all we have for tonight.
Well, now, I did want to say one thing and then another thing. Maybe I'm sure you guys will talk about this one on Thursday. But this other one I wanted to say, actually, too. I know we got a lot of people that watch this. They're also huge Indiana Pacer fans.
Yes.
I'm a gigantic Detroit guy. I love Detroit. I love Pistons. I love them all. But I want to say to you, Pacer fans, that was a hell of a season. You have nothing to hang your heads about. Yes, it hurts to lose like that, but damn, you guys put on a show. You didn't quit. Those guys re-energized not only a state but a region, and all you Pacer fans should be proud. Very, very proud of that team. And as like I said, as a Pistons fan, Pacers have always been a concern of mine. So, but it was a great, great season. And then, like I said, I don't know. I mean, we keep everything fun and lively, and I know you guys will probably talk about this on Thursday when you get a chance, but what's going on now with Night of Champions?
Yeah.
And
you just mentioned that yesterday.
To me, my personal opinion on this is you reap what you sow. You wanted to get into bed with everyone over there, and you wanted that blood money. Well, now here you go again. This is what you get, and I say that from that aspect, but also I want to make I'm concerned about the safety of the people that are over there and anyone's going over there. So I'm not trying to act like, oh, hey, whatever. No, but this is what you run into when you want to do this kind of business with areas over there. And, the money's great. Everything's great. But yeah, now you got to deal with stuff like this. And you got to ask yourself, where's that line of, you got to draw it somewhere, man. And, so that's why I said, I told some friends, like, it's blood money, man. It's blood, if you get that Saudi money and now you got to deal with this stuff and the potential dangers. And then you've got people like Punk and his previous takes on stuff. Well, he's pretty willing to go over there now.
Yep.
Money changes people a lot. I'm not saying I'd be the best guy in the world if I had millions of dollars thrown in my face, but
yep.
It is funny how, some people really try to stand this hard line or try to do all this stuff. And when it comes down to it,
it happens.
And if they have to cancel or change it, but from what I've been reading, they ain't changing anything. They're still there setting up.
Well, I guess they've been there for a while. They've been there for a week or longer setting up. Personally, I think they should cancel the show or move it. That's just my personal opinion, and just for safety reasons. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. And like I said, I try not to get overly political, a lot of stuff. I keep it close to the guard. But when you've got your Triple H and Stephanie shaking hands with our current leader and everything else. This is what you get, man. You want to do that. So, I mean, hopefully everything goes off without a hitch and they make the right calls. I hope honestly for the entire world, everything goes off without a hitch and we can get this calmed down and whatnot. And, everyone out there, I know I don't have my relatives used to be in the military. I don't know if you guys have people that are currently in that. So, and anyone's watching, I hope everyone, if you got military family, hope they stay safe.
Yeah, definitely.
I have one in the reserves.
Yeah.
Brandon's he's still in the I think Air Force Reserves.
I believe so.
He was in the Navy, and then he's still active in the reserves.
That's what I mean. I said I'm not going to be on Thursday, because I work, but I just thought I know it's sort of a hot topic within the big leagues right now, and
it sucks too because man, their storytelling. I know you don't watch it all the time, Warren. Their storytelling has been really good in the last month or so. I think that with this King and Queen of the Ring tournament, I thought they did a great job. There's more matches on Raw tonight, so I thought they've been doing a real good job.
You see the interesting theory on Cena's pipe bomb when he said, "Hi Matt, hi Nick, hi Claudio, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Colt Cabana." It was like was he being sending messages that.
Yeah, there's people that I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah,
I know, but that's pretty funny.
I hope you're not bringing the damn Young Bucks to the WWE.
No. My favorite is this weekend. Matt Cardona got up on the ropes and said hi to John Cena. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And then we got a lot of other stuff, getting ready to. I'm telling you, man, All in Texas is going to be fun for AEW.
I hope so.
It's starting to get somewhere, and I'm hoping. I know a lot of people are hoping we see the end of Moxley with the title, but it's
I don't. What do you think? You think is Hangman going to get it?
I think so. Because then I think that honestly, it may as the more I'm blending in things, I think they're going to end this Death Riders thing with Hangman getting it, and then I think they're going to go into Wembley, possibly as a triple threat with Hangman, Ospreay, and Swerve, and I think Ospreay's going to walk out of Wembley with the title.
Okay.
But
and I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'm ready for the Moxley thing to end.
I think everyone is outside of Moxley and maybe TK, but it's
I just don't think it's a good idea if your title hasn't been seen since last October. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a good idea.
And I think you even said too, Tony. Like, what good are these matches when they always seem to interfere? They always, it's always how they had the cage match, and that was you sort of expected that stuff. But when he has the regular matches, it's never a clean. There's always something.
That was the big thing. That was the big complaint about Roman Reigns. I mean, he always won the same thing. It's almost like they was trying to do that. I don't know, but we'll see. A match that I'm excited for, and I wish they would have played it up better, is and it hasn't even been announced officially. Athena and Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. Because Athena's had that belt forever and a day.
Yeah, I think that's. I think they should have played it up more, but
I'm hoping beyond hope that Tony Storm wins.
I think Mercedes is going to.
I know, but we'll see how that one goes, and then the Okada Omega match.
I know. I'm looking forward to seeing the match. I'm gonna be honest with you, Okada. I mean, I know what it did in Japan, but I ain't seen it here.
Yeah,
I just haven't.
It's been slow. It's been slow with him. I wonder if maybe because they were so much worried about blending him in with the Bucks for a while that they didn't really let him branch out. But now he's part of the Don Callis family. But now Ibushi shows up. Kota's there. So Kota's healthy and ready to rock. So, I mean, that kind of stuff. And the way that they're keeping those plates on the belt. They're keeping the Okada and Omega plates on the belt. And they're using it as it's sort of like a 1A title. Like, it's going to be for really high end. It's not going to be defended every show. You're not going to see it all the time. They're going to bring it out for really big, main, important stuff. But yeah, that, and then of course, later on, you've got Old Man Goldberg taking on Gunther. We'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't understand. I don't have a problem with Goldberg being on there. It should not be for the title.
No, it shouldn't be.
No, it
Because
shouldn't be.
like I said, years ago during the Ruthless Aggression era, Kurt Angle was in the ring, running his mouth, and this young scrappy guy come out that's actually getting ready to retire this year and said his name was John Cena and took up. So why can't Ricky Saint come down and get in Gunther's face? Why can't you bring one of those guys to shoot? No, you're dusting off this guy because, and I honestly feel it's because they want to try to top AEW by saying, hey, look, our Saturday night main event in Atlanta, we did better than you guys did in a baseball. I think, as much as they say they're not that concerned about AEW, they had 700,000 people watch last Wednesday.
Yep.
And that's not counting Max. So they're getting their head back together and back in a course here. And if WWE doesn't get their head back together and start shooting some younger guys up here, some talent to show off, I love competition. I love watching them both. So, I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's like, you got to be able to keep going here. Use some of this stuff. Stop bringing these old guys back and nostalgia. I would rather see Cody Rhodes come down and tell Gunther, we're going to be in my town. I'd rather I want the competition as I'm getting ready for King of the Ring. I want to be, I'd rather see that than Goldberg come down.
What sucks though, Goldberg got a big pop, and I don't understand it.
Anyways, Marcus is barely awake, so
No, I'm just listening.
Well,
Marcus is over here thinking about Goldberg. He's all excited about it.
Marcus thinking about Goldberg and clotheslines.
clotheslines.
Hey,
Hey, there's the question: who's got the best clothesline in independent wrestling, Marcus?
I'll tell you who don't. No matter how many times you do it, don't make it the best.
That's true. That's true. I've witnessed it. We all have. Oh,
I
Lord.
remember that night commentary.
Yep.
Another clothesline. Another clothesline.
Well, then Warren said no sell on aisles 5.
Yeah. That was a good one. Yeah, that was good.
Awesome.
We should
Hey,
do
look
an
at that
outtake
guy.
reel.
Really?
That was absolutely devastating. I was sitting there when I was waiting on Chris to figure out what intro we were going to run today. Because he started the countdown, then he went to the other one. So
It was rough. I don't know what the
I
hell.
don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, that countdown, that was somebody had messed with the damn switch up there and put it where when you go live for it to automatically play that. Yeah, we'll blame it on Glenn.
A little bit of Big Glenn. It's his fault.
It was probably Jay, to be honest.
Yeah.
what's up, Cookie?
Ah, better late than never, huh, buddy?
Well, everybody have a good night. I'm gonna go watch Raw. I'm gonna eat a piece of apple caramel pie.
Yep. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, X, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room as well. And we'll see you next Monday.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
Here, this is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.